Want to order anything right now? Or? Do you want to order any food?
I'm fine
right
for now.
Yeah. I'm good. Thanks.
Thank you.
We're a little crooked out here. I know. See this?
Is this better?
I know. It's because I don't have a true setup. We are live right now.
Okay.
This moment, just so you know. So what will happen? John doesn't know. This is John Ferguson.
Fine.
John, oh, don't be boring. John Ferguson sent a selfie of himself as a sumo wrestler to me yesterday, so he's not a high person. We are at Shoes Cup and Cork. My name is Gina, and I run a real estate company in Northern Virginia. And John is an amazing financial planner. What's your true title?
Sure, financial advisor, financial planner.
God to the money.
No, please.
The money god. And John, I go way back, and you don't know this. Are you ready?
Yes.
You don't know this.
You got married on the radio?
You knew that. Somebody said once I'd get married anywhere, but that's another story for another day. I attribute the bulk of my real estate success to you, and you don't even know that.
That's crazy.
Have I ever told you that? I never told you that.
No.
So it's you and Tom Ferry. Do you know who Tom Ferry is?
Mm-mm.
Tom Ferry's a real estate trainer. Who do we have here? Oh, hi, Susie. Hi, Sally. You guys know who Tom Ferry is. So Tom Ferry is a real estate trainer, and I went to this class in 2004, maybe, before the market died, as it was rising up. And he said, you have to make a contact every day. You want to have a business, you have to be in the business, you have to go on an appointment every single day. And I'm sitting there in the audience like, I do 3 deals a year. I'm like, I don't have enough people to make an appointment a day. He goes, change your definition of an appointment. An appointment is having a conversation with someone about real estate. It's not necessarily a listing appointment or a showing appointment or an open house. It's just having a conversation. And he encouraged us to go have coffee with people that we thought were successful. Is it all coming back to you now?
Yes, it is.
Have coffee or lunch with people that we had were successful. And you were the first person that I asked.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was so nervous, but meeting this man at the bus stop every morning, I felt pretty safe. He's a little crazy. He's a little happy.
I like crazy.
He doesn't even drink coffee, and he's like, ding, 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 ding. He needs a fidget spinner. And and that lunch was started. That's what changed it from Gina Tofano, real estate agent, to Ash Gina and Company, to grow to be a 7-figure business. And when at the time I was a 5-figure, that's a big jump. And you were on the ground floor, and I have told that story a million times over. You're cutting mostly out and a little bit in. I can't help you, Susie. I don't know why. Can you see me now? Can you hear me now? We got a light? Maybe? It's raining. I don't know if maybe Shoes Wi-Fi. We already rebooted. So this is the best I got. We'll see what happens.
Well, I think I don't take any credit for it, but I'll tell you, you are driven.
Mm-hmm.
And you are incredibly honest, and you have enormous integrity. I mean, above reproach, beyond reproach, right? So you came to me with all the gifts, and I just really didn't do much, really.
You said yes. I mean, so I'm a little scared little person, and I'm saying, I feel like I'm looking at you as a successful business person, and here I am. I've had my real estate license for maybe 7 years at the time, 10 years at the time, but I was the typical part-time mom agent. I would do my friends, neighbors, things like that, but I wasn't a business, and I wasn't an LLC. I didn't have any. Now I'm, and that was such a turning point. So I leave this Tom Ferry event, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make an appointment a day. I'm like, I can do this. I can change my definition of an appointment. You were the very first person I asked, and the response was so positive. And you treated me as if I was a real business, when in my brain, I mean, I was a real business, but in my brain I wasn't. In my brain I was some imposter who, made mac and cheese for my kids and, pretended to sell houses on the side. And you treated me with the respect of a fellow business person, and it has changed my life. And I tell that story over and over and over again to new people when they're struggling. I say, make an appointment a day. And I go, and I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the financial planner who lives up the street that you know is very successful, because that's how I did it.
That's awesome. I
You
love
didn't
it.
know
Very
that.
kind. I did not
I've
know
been
that.
talking about you for a decade.
I do remember the lunch. I
Mm-hmm.
do remember our lunch at Sweetwater Tavern in Sterling,
Mm-hmm.
but I do not recall that. Well, I think you give me too much credit, but I'm honored to take credit because you're so great. But
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's history
Mutual
there that you didn't
Admiration
even know.
Society, honey. That's all. Finished his freshman
Go
year.
Hokies.
And go Hokies, yes, indeed. I am a living, breathing Hokie fan now. I never thought I'd say that being a West Virginia Mountaineer graduate. But
Oh.
I love the Hokies and proud of it.
You got the new
And
mailbox and everything.
yeah, flags and the
Mhm.
seat
You
cushions
got it
and
all.
the Huggies, the whole 9 yards.
You're not
Uh,
alone. There's a lot of
Oh,
Hokies
and
around here.
there are a lot of Hokies in the
Hmm.
neighborhood, which is great. It's a great. You totally get it when you go down there and see Blacksburg because it's a charming little town, and it's
Hmm.
so almost not naive, but it's just a charming town, and the whole town is there to serve Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Christiansburg is Christiansburg, but Blacksburg is Virginia Tech. Period.
Okay.
And it's just
Which
a great.
is like Dominion High School light, right? So many
Right.
kids ended up going down there. So many Nova kids are
Well,
down
a
there.
lot of Northern Virginia kids are down there,
Mhm.
but and it's tough to get in. So, but it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
So it's well rounded, and the nice part is there's so many kids that go there that there's something for everybody.
Mhm.
There's the athletes, the fraternity sorority system. There's every group and plan and extracurricular activity you could ever want. So it's been a great fit for Trevor for sure.
So all I know about Virginia Tech, you're getting a lot of love for Virginia Tech. all I know, all I know about Virginia Tech is A, there's a lot of you Hokies.
Yes,
and B, it's halfway home for Andrew from Nashville to here, so he spends a lot of time in Blacksburg.
Right.
It's sort of his stopover, and
Yeah.
he hangs out with the kids in the dorms and things like that. It's his stopping point. But I've never been there. I have no Hokies.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
know nothing. So I have a dropout, and Jason's at UVA.
Right.
So we have no Hokies, other than I know they take good care of Andrew when he passes through.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so that's one.
So Tyler is finishing his junior year in high school at Riverside in Ashburn.
Okay.
So he's, he's our handful, if you will. And
we all have one. Mine
yes.
is named Dylan, and
Yes.
then I'm in for a long haul.
Yes. But a lot of fun. He's full of life. And then the girls are 13, and they're
twin girls that are 13. Give this man some love. I was 13 once. That's not easy.
They're good though. They really are so far. I know they haven't hit the high school years, but the 13 and a half, they're in 7th grade, getting ready for swim team.
Oh, in 7th. Okay, so you have one more year until high school.
Yeah, so I have one that's trying to do scuba diving starting this summer, and then one is in hip hop dance. So they like different things, which is great. But they're both do swim team.
Okay. Are they just together in all their classes and things like that? Because I know there's two schools of thought on that.
Yeah, well,
together or separate them?
Separate in their own identity. They want their own, fiercely independent. They want their own identity. They want their own stuff. They want their own room. So
they
own
sleep
hobbies.
in their own rooms
Yes,
and everything?
They do.
Okay, they are completely split up.
Rearranged the house a few times to accommodate those two.
Well, and you have a little bit of a gap. What's the gap from top to bottom?
So 18, Tyler's 19, Trevor, 18, Tyler, and then the twins are 13.
Okay, so it's only 6 years. It seemed like a lot at the time.
Yeah.
Because there's 16 between Andrew and Dylan,
Yeah.
and 12 between Jason and Dylan. But I remember when you had the twins, I was getting my baby fix, sitting there holding them, and thinking, you're crazy.
Yes, crazy.
That's a big gap, and then I just doubled your gap. I took your gap. I doubled down.
You did. You absolutely did.
I doubled down. So holidays must be amazing. Summer, is everybody home, or do you have camps?
Yeah,
or trips,
we do some of that. We love the beach. That's how I get my batteries recharged from this crazy business that we're all in. This entrepreneurial craziness, which I love and you love.
Oh, I could never work for anyone else.
No.
They'd fire me.
No, but at least you're
Or
compliant.
I'd quit. Yes, I am compliant. I am compliant.
So that's good. But it'll be summers, and then our summer school for some, and different stuff. So what are you all going to do for the summer?
What are we doing? So everybody's home now. Well, not really. Jason came home about 2 weeks ago. Andrew happens to be home because Andrew doesn't go to school anymore, so we're just graced by his touring. And he told me the only show I'm allowed to promote is Friday night in Arlington. Be there. IOTA is the name of the club.
Oh.
Between you, me, and who's ever watching.
5,000 people. 10,
yeah, and the 5,000 friends that are watching. He's playing a lot more places, but I'm not allowed to promote them. Well, because do you know there's a database for artists by how many people you can draw to a venue? They keep track of it. So if they book you, just because you play well doesn't mean anything. Oh. You say, I can draw a crowd of X. So if you say, I'm going to bring 100 people to come see me play here, and you show up with 10, you get like a big red X in this database. So then you go to the next place and you say, I can bring in 100 people. And they look you up and they're like, no, you can't. You can only bring 10. You're not allowed to play. Like,
oh my gosh. Wow.
So the one that he's promoting is the one that he has pushed the numbers on and said, I can bring this many people. The ones he's not promoting are typical bar gigs that, they don't really care. They just want live music. He calls that his job. That would be like you watching him, you know, file papers. Like that's his work. It's not a show, you know. But in all honesty, he's playing all over the place.
That's cool.
Like all over.
What does he play?
So he is very kind of John Mayer, Ed Sheeran, Jack Johnson. It's you know, it's
He's very talented, as I recall.
He's going to end up being a songwriter.
Wow.
I can tell you right now, he is an amazing songwriter. He's got a bit of a business mind. So he dropped out after his freshman year, started an LLC. Are you ready for this? This is like my. So it's hard when you have a kid that drops out of college. I'm not going to lie. It's hard when you have a kid that decides, I want to be an entrepreneur. You want them to go be a doctor.
Right.
I'll pay for you to go to school for 12 years. Just get a nice, safe career, you know? And he's like, no, you know, I want to live out of my truck, tour the country, and couch surf. And you're like, okay, well, let's do it right. So he started an LLC. He then hired interns from the school that he dropped out of and worked it properly, so they're getting credits for classes by working for my son, who only went to school for 1 year at Belmont in Nashville. It's a small Christian music school. He only did 1 year there. Like after the first semester, he's like, Mom, this isn't for me. I said, okay, take all their music classes second semester. You know, like who cares about the English and just load up on the music because that's what you're there for. He ended up teaching a 400 level class in the college he dropped out of as a freshman. Like he's got this down. So he's doing
very
it.
Talented young man.
Yeah, kids are getting credits for classes he hasn't taken by working for him.
The irony.
Yes. So he's doing it all right. And in doing that, he's been trying here or there and the other. I lost connection again. I'm sorry. I mean, I can tell we're still connected. It hasn't kicked me off, so hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, we'll just keep going. What was I saying? Oh, so he's doing it all right, and he's trying all these different things. So he tried sponsorships. He got like Nabisco to pick him up to write jingles, and you know, he's given 2 TED Talks, and you know, he's trying all sorts of different things. And where he's kind of sort of found his niche is in songwriting. So he's just got a way with words. He understands music at like some internal level, so he can put it all together. And so he's been co-writing and writing, and his songs are starting, and I'm not allowed to throw names around, but his songs are getting in front of people. Like they are, I'm waiting. Like so his friends are starting to get picked up by really big artists. You know, like you're hearing top 10 music on the radio, and he's like, so-and-so wrote that.
Wow.
So to get the financial benefit of getting a top 10 song on the radio is you're pushing $1 million, like as the songwriter, not as the artist. But,
wow.
You know, so if there's 2 of them, they split it, whatever, you know, however many writers. But each song, I think he said, is worth about $750 by just making it to the top 10. And then obviously, you know, 1 is a lot higher than 10, but just breaking that top 10, you know. Incredible. So I'm like, oh, that's my retirement plan. Like, Andrew, you know Mama's a couple years behind. I wanted to be a little better off at this point. So
how exciting for him. Is this a different path? Everyone finds their way.
And he's happy, and he works hard, and he bought his first car last week.
Oh my gosh.
All on his own, paid cash, used. He researched the depreciation rate and everything. Mom, look, I made it a year older, and I added 100,000 miles, and I only lost $600 because I'm like, a car is a depreciating asset, Andrew. Like, you have to, you know, if you want to spend a lot of money and have a payment on something that's going to be worthless, go for it. But you know, let's be smart here. So he was completely smart, and I can't tell you how proud I was of that kid when he said, I added 100,000 miles, I made it a year older, and I only lost $600. I love you. Like, that worked.
That works. That's awesome.
Yeah, he bought his car. So that's Andrew. Jason came home 2 weeks ago. Jason has not found his niche, but he hasn't found his drive. If that makes sense. Like, he knows what he likes, but he doesn't like it with enough passion to wake up yet. You know, so he's still the sleep till 1 in the afternoon, hasn't gotten his driver's license yet, hasn't, you know, I'm like, kid, you're going to be 19. Like, you know, I won't enable you. You have to ride your bike, but he'll just ride his bike. he's super smart, super heart of gold. You know, like you have a conversation with him, and you feel like you're having a conversation with like a Nobel Peace Prize winner or something. You know, like he's definitely brilliant. Um, I can't wait. As a mama, I can't wait for him to find his fire. You know, he hasn't found his fire yet. And then
He will.
And then Dylan is fire. So you're with Ferg, Melissa.
Oh my gosh, I'm Melissa.
He's my secret guest. He's not on Facebook. I couldn't find a picture of him. The only one I had, he was like shirtless and under a waterfall or something. So it's not really well.
Six-pack abs.
I know, so all 6 of them drawn on airbrush. No, I would love to airbrush abs. Now that I think about it. I've never had a 6-pack. You must have had a 6-pack.
Oh,
Do you have a 6-pack?
Still, yeah, absolutely. Just Bud Light.
Not PBR. He's moving up in the world.
I got a raise. Boss is crazy, but still.
Well, yeah, I know. My boss keeps me around. I don't know why. I ask every day. So how does your business run? Like, how do you, so you're on your own now.
So I am.
But what does on your own mean in your world? Because on your own in my world, I still have a broker. Like I still am under, so I'm my own little corporation.
Our businesses are very similar.
Okay.
So as a financial advisor, I have a broker dealer, which is Cambridge Investment Research, which is out of Iowa.
Okay.
So
that would be like your Keller Williams, your Remax, your Pearson Smith. Okay.
And so the broker dealer is like for lack of a better term, Merrill Lynch kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a way to
access all that stuff.
Yes, access the stuff, right? And so that's the broker dealer.
Oh, Jackie Punk, when I saw JF, I thought I was in 2 places at one time. You can be on next. Somebody tells me that I can do this when you're not actually in the room. It's too tech savvy. So if you can figure that out.
She can probably.
She could. Well, there's so many people who are smarter than me. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
I do what I do very well, but that's a little bit of everything. And
I know.
The rest of it is just
everything else is, I know
hired
people.
out, right?
The source of the source.
Exactly.
I say that all the time. I'm like, I don't know, but I can find someone who
I can
does.
find who someone does, right? Absolutely.
Okay. So you are...
So I have my own firm.
Okay.
So Ferguson Private Wealth Management is my firm, right?
Okay.
And I am independent.
You're in Lansdowne, right?
I'm in Lansdowne.
Okay.
And it's a reverse commute, so it really is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And but the broker dealer is the conduit, right, for the investments.
Okay.
And so, but I basically work with my clients. So, you interact with the broker dealer because they're the compliance arm and that type of thing.
So you do or your clients do? Like,
Me.
are you?
I'm the conduit.
So if somebody works with you, they only work with you?
Pretty much.
So, like, if you're coming to buy a house from me, you don't have to talk to... No. Eric Pearson, you're talking to me, and I'm making sure we stay out of realtor jail, as I call it.
Absolutely.
Like that we follow all the rules. Okay.
Yeah, follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rules are important in our business.
Yes.
Transparency, the rules, it's all good. So, yeah. So, I'm on my own. I love it.
How long have you been by yourself now? It's been a while.
2 years, a little over 2 years.
Oh, it's newer than
I've
I
always
thought.
been independent. I've always been self-employed, but I was under an insurance company broker-dealer in my previous life. So I'm a recovering insurance company-owned broker from a broker-dealer. So now I'm independent. But our broker-dealer has been independent broker-dealer of the year for like 8 years. I mean, they're amazing.
There you go.
So they really great customer service, and we're the client for them. So it works out. It works out great.
That is awesome. So what does your team look like? Do you have people with you?
So I have a full-time assistant. That's it.
Okay.
But I have strategic partners that I work with when I need.
So like our staging partner or our photographer, they're not on staff, but we won't use anyone but them. They're amazing.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have an assistant that puts up with you full time too?
Yeah, can you imagine?
We
4
should
years.
have her talk to. I've had Kim. I'm going on 5. I've had Kim that long too. There's somebody that puts up with both of us.
That is really amazing.
Is she not like?
She's
I'm
a
assuming
saint.
it's a she,
She's
right?
she's
a saint. Does she text you after hours to make sure you do what you're supposed to do?
No. I mean, she knows I won't do it after hours.
Maybe that's me. I get texts from Kim like, "Did you make your contacts?" Yes.
That's good. She holds you accountable.
Yes. No, Kim's amazing.
Yeah.
So what does the future of Ferguson Private Wealth Management look like?
Well, that's a good question. I think, we're still growing,
Mm-hmm.
which is good, and we love our work, and we're very blessed to serve the clients that we serve.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to look much different than it does now. It's really working. It's growing at a relatively good pace so that I
Mm-hmm.
can keep up with it
Right.
instead of
Would you
drinking
want to?
water from a fire hose.
Would you want to bring in a baby Ferguson?
If we,
Well, not necessarily one of yours, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like
well, I
a
mean,
partner of some sort.
it would eventually, yeah, they'll have to have a succession plan
Mm-hmm.
for sure because you make promises to people, you have to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's a business that has to continue in perpetuity, or at least for a long time, because I have
Well,
younger
that's
clients
your whole
too.
right. Like I sell a
So,
house, and we're kind of done. Like I follow up and all that, but I'm not
right.
managing their house for
Yeah,
them.
I guess that's the difference between our businesses because it's still a relationship business, but
Right.
for us, managing the assets and managing the plan and
Is an
keeping is an
ongoing thing.
ongoing process,
Where
which
I'm
is
transactional, and I always say I'm not transactional in like you're going to the store to buy a pair of shoes. You know,
right,
it's not a 15-minute transaction. It's a
right.
6-month process
It
from
is.
beginning to end, but it still is that process, and it's on me to maintain that relationship when those 6 months are over.
That's right.
But it could just as easily, if I never came back, they would find somebody else. There's a million good agents out there.
Yep.
Obviously, not quite as good as me.
Not close.
But no, there are a lot of good agents, just like I'm sure you have
Sure.
a lot of
good advisors.
good advisors. You hear their name, you're like, yes, you're in good hands.
Yep.
You're not. I imagine some of the rules are the same. You don't poach people. You don't do.
Right.
Like we have good business practices here.
Yes.
But there are some names where you're like, yeah, no, you're in great hands. I
Yep.
wouldn't do a thing. You listen to them. They're right. Oh, my device is not protected. It's okay. We're not buying that today. Do you buy that
But not
stuff?
today.
Do you buy all that
At the
stuff?
beginning of the year, I take care of all that security stuff.
You do? You keep it up to date? Because
yeah.
when it expires, I just let it expire.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh. We protect it.
You're protected? Huh. Maybe I should look into that. I'm thinking. So, okay. You do? You buy all of it, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. And you feel strongly about it. I can tell from the look on your face.
Yeah, you pretty much do. Yeah. It's your computer. It's your data. You have to protect it.
All our data's online, though. Is all your data online? Or is it on your
not all of it.
computer?
It's above.
So you could run this over with your car, and I could get everything I need
Yes.
the next one I go by.
Oh, really?
On the
Okay.
street. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and I rely heavily on Google and all those
Right.
gurus to
Right.
keep good care of
Well,
it.
those are good business partners to be in.
Yes. So see, they're our
There
business
you go.
partner.
There
They're
you
my
go.
tech. We
Right.
have no tech. Well, our tech department is actually my assistant's husband who runs the IT for Loudoun County Public Schools.
Oh,
So
you're in good hands.
when we have a problem, we go right to the school system and we're like, Aaron, help.
You're in good hands.
You do what you can do.
That's funny. Absolutely.
So that's the future. What are your plans this summer?
We're going to the beach
Mhm.
and just keep my kid in summer school, make sure he finishes, and we'll back to Blacksburg in August.
Back to Blacksburg. And school starts in August, too, for Loudoun this year.
Yep.
I'm going to be at the bus stop again.
Yeah, you will. Good.
Well, the
It's
twins.
a different bus stop though.
I know. The twins are in middle school, right? Your twins?
Yeah, they'll be in 8th grade
Yeah.
this fall.
So you get to sleep a little later than me.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, you're still in the throes of
going
it.
into first grade. I'm
Wow.
not looking. So I walked into Horizon
Oh,
to the PTA meeting to join and get elected to serve on the board.
mm-hmm.
And I did the math. Was 17 years
Wow.
prior that I walked
Is
in
that right?
with Andrew as a kindergartner.
Really? Wow.
And I mean, Dylan's coming in as a first grader. He
Where
stayed
did
in private
those
school.
17 years
17
go? That's crazy.
years. 17.
Yeah. And you moved in Rivercrest.
99.
And you were in 99, right? You were the first batch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You weren't
We
that
were the
long
second.
after us.
We were October
yeah.
2000.
Yeah, you weren't that long after us.
Yep.
No, we were the first batch, and it was interesting. You couldn't go around the block because it wasn't built. Like trick-or-treating was the cul-de-sac and back out, because if you went up the street, it was just scary because it was all under construction. We used to skate on the Aarons lot.
Oh, really?
Because they dug the hole and then never poured the foundation, and it was over the winter and it froze over. We used to play ice hockey on our lot. That was probably the winter before you were there, like the winter of 99, 2000. We played ice hockey on our lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a different world. But it seems like everybody's leaving. Like they're all
Yeah, slowly but
skedaddling
surely.
out. Michelle's
I
gone.
know.
Andrew came home and he's like, so they really don't live there? Somebody else lives there? You know, he's like, I grew up in that house across the street. Somebody else lives there? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, kiddo. But the people who bought their house used to live in Rivercrest and moved to Atlanta for a few years and came back.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually old Rivercresters who came back. So Rivercrest is kind of a cool little...
It's a great neighborhood.
Cool
We're very
vibe.
lucky.
Mm-hmm.
We're very lucky.
No, and you have an amazing lot, too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
They have one of those wooded, backing to the trees. Amazing.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Okay, so what book do we have here?
So I brought this book for you. It's called A Touch of Wonder. It's by Arthur Gordon, who wrote many essays for Cosmopolitan, Guidepost magazine many, many years ago.
Okay.
But a mentor of mine gave this to me about 28 years ago, and it's
Is this the original book you got 28 years ago? Whoa.
And I've bought several actually online over the years, but it's an invitation to fall in love with life. And there's just a collaboration.
If anyone is in love with life, it is you.
Well,
you know that, right?
Well, I am very blessed to surround myself with great people. I feel very lucky. But this book is a classic, and there's two essays in here that are particularly good. And one is called How Wonderful You Are. And it's all about this man, Arthur Gordon's family grew up in southern Georgia, in Savannah, and he was born in 1902 or something like that.
Okay.
He was a World War II veteran. So after the war, his parents moved out of their family home that they lived in for, decades.
Oh, okay.
Literally generations.
Got it.
And so the mom had to move out to a much smaller place, and there was stuff in the attic and stuff in the cellar. And they thought, well, oh my gosh, this is southern Georgia. We'll find these Confederate stamps or coins
awesome,
or something
right.
really awesome. And what they found was just all these letters. And so they started going through all these letters, and they started to get a sense of what it was like to live around that period of time in the Civil War with all the stuff. They had just lost the war and very divided. Yellow fever had taken over, and how they the letters weren't really love letters or anything.
It was almost like a journal.
It was a journal, and these letters to one another were so warm and encouraging. And they encouraged each other, and that's how they got through it. And yet today...
Well, because this is before telephone, before texting, obviously, before all this instant communication. So this was the only way they had to
They
get
communicated
in touch with each
through
other.
the letters. Mm-hmm. And they were just you could feel the warmth of the letters to each other and the kindness that they shared with one another. And I think he was, in his writings, and this was back post-World War II, 1950s, when he wrote this 1960s, he, how little we do that to this day, all of it. That's kind of a sign of weakness if you show emotion or if you encourage one another. And he just missed those days of those letters. And so it just touched me so much, because I like to encourage others.
I was just going to say that you don't consider that a sign of weakness.
Well, I don't,
either.
but
I consider it a sign of strength.
But that's how I look at it. But I know I'm a little weird. But I just think, I just think you get a lot more out of life by being a good citizen and trying to encourage others to do the best they can. And you never know what kind of a day someone's having. So if you can give them a little encouragement or a compliment, and it's sincere and genuine, then I think their day is better off for having just that encounter with you, with the person.
I love that. I have never seen you have a bad day. Does it happen?
It does happen.
If anyone knows John, you would think he never had a bad day either. Although Janine may say otherwise. But
don't ask her. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, you are always, looking at the bright side, full of energy. You're showing up 100%.
Yeah.
And I can see how this book. I don't subscribe to, well, for the most part. I mean, we all have our good and bad days. But in general, I believe we should go all in. We should be honest. We should be, not that you have to necessarily vent all your troubles to the world, but
Right.
to be completely honest, like I'm
Right.
having a good day, I'm having a bad day. Can
Right.
I help you?
Right.
I've been through something similar. I know someone who's been through something similar. That's what this sounds like. That's what these
So,
letters.
yeah, this particular chapter is again, the whole book it's an invitation to fall in love with life. It's just great. There's these little short essays, and it's just a tremendous book. So I
How
thought
many times have you read it?
about 20. And I usually go back to the same 2 essays that are my favorites.
They're your favorite?
Yep.
Okay, well, everybody who's commented, John has never had a bad day. I know. Dana's like, it doesn't happen. Well, it doesn't happen because he reads A Touch of Wonder. So anyone who's commented or liked, you get the whole week to do it, and next week we will pick the winner of who gets your book.
Okay.
What we have been doing is sending them to the person, but I'm wondering if we should do some sort of like lunches. Like, would you like to hand off your book
Sure.
personally?
Absolutely.
So we can do something like that. That's kind of my, again, this is new, just something I've started doing, although I did inform Shoes today that I'm using their spot regularly. Hadn't really told them, just started showing up.
She did look at me rather quizzically when I said I was here for the meeting and the photo shoot and the television cameras, and she looked at me very odd.
I know. Yeah, where's the dressing room? Because I heard it was clothing optional. No.
I needed a makeup, obviously. So
We need a makeup artist. I mean, we're a little shiny today because it's rainy. No, but I'm thinking, so we just titled ourselves Outside the Box recently.
Okay.
I just started doing who we are. Like, we used to just start and we were on. Like, I had music playing when it was in my office at home. I would just have music playing and we'd act like it wasn't on at all. And then all of a sudden we'd be like, oh, hi. But now it's got a little more format to it. I've heard from people that they kind of want to know what's going to happen before it actually happens. But I love it. I think we get so much out of it. So what I want to know from you, we have your book. We obviously know you're amazing. You know, father of 4. I know, kids make us old.
Oh, boy. I'm not kidding.
You know, I have 7 now. 'Cause I have my 3 and 4 stepkids.
Oh,
I know,
wow.
7.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
You're a
makes
saint.
your 4 look like nothing.
Nothing compared to
I'm
7.
going to take your 4 and I double them. Almost.
You did, almost.
Almost. I don't think it really matters beyond 3, though. I'm completely honest. Like, once you go over, because, so 2, you have 1 for each. 3, you're outnumbered. Anything over that, you're still outnumbered.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Hopefully there's enough of a gap where one of them can grab the other one before they run in the street, you know? But it's, yeah, once you're beyond 3, it doesn't matter. Does it matter? Okay, so you're swimming in a pool. You can't swim. You're in 3 feet of water. You're fine. You can stand, right? That's like 2 kids. You can stand. You move to 7 feet. It doesn't matter if it's 7 feet or 700 feet. You're going to drown.
That's a good point. Hello. Everything's
we're
great.
good. Thanks. You're going to drown. It doesn't matter. So I think that's the same with children. Once you're over 3, you're over your head. Do the
Why
best
not?
you can.
Right.
Doggy paddle as long as you can. Someone hand me a life raft. So what else is going on? Let's see. What else can we talk about? Give me something new and amazing. What's something that super excites you about, or Memorial Day weekend? Tell me, what are you doing for Memorial Day?
It's raining. Oh my gosh.
I know.
The senior golf
are
tournament's
you
over at
going?
Trump. So
Are you
we'll
headed
go.
over?
We'll go there. Yeah, the weather's nice. So that'd be great. You know, first time they've had that tournament, any real professional tournament at that golf
I
club.
know,
So
it's super
that'd be nice.
exciting.
Very
They have
excited for
parking
the
all the
area.
way over at One
One
Loudon.
Loudon. Yep, they
That blew
do.
my mind. Jason saw it the other day. He's like, "Are they gonna walk? Like, how?" I'm like, "No, honey, they're busing. It's like 8 miles."
Right.
But no, that is super exciting. So
Yeah,
not
good
the
for the
best
area.
weather, but
No, not at all.
have you? So I'm not down there. I'm back to the golf course for like 4 years when I was in Rhode Island. That would have been super amazing. Right now, I could just peek through the windows. But
What are you guys doing?
I got nothing.
Work.
So I got work. So in my world of co-parenting now, you know, because this is my weekend sans children, or child really, because the older ones do whatever, you know, like they're there, they come and go wherever they want. But Dylan, I don't have Dylan this weekend. So we're still in town. He's never had a bad day. So I don't have Dylan this weekend. So there will be a lot more work. I try not to work on the weekends I have Dylan, so I cram it all in when I don't have Dylan. So there's that. Andrew has a show, the Friday night show,
Yes, that's
that
gonna be
everybody has to go to. And there's a whole bunch more too. Just
awesome.
text me, I'll tell you where they are. But so he has his Friday night show. And I was going to go down to South Carolina for the weekend, but the weather's kind of
Even down there?
you know, I don't know. The person I was going with wanted to go Friday morning, and I wouldn't go till after Andrew's show Friday night.
Mhm.
Like, I'm unavailable until Friday night. So I don't know. I'm really uncomfortable around, so I'm sure I'll get into trouble with him somewhere. And he may or may not have other shows that I'll tell you about after this one on Friday. You know,
That's exciting that he
so-
is involved in that. That's really cool.
You have no idea how amazing that child, or Jason, like, come on, don't you look at your older kids and every once in a while you're like, oh my goodness, they're grown-ups.
Yeah, I marvel.
Like, how
Crazy.
did that
How
happen?
did it happen?
And they didn't screw it up royally, or they did, but they fixed it. You know, my kids have their struggles and they're different. You know, Jason's is motivation. Andrew was pushing boundaries. So Andrew got into a fair amount of trouble, and you know, I would just do the same thing I do with Dylan now. Dylan will throw a hissy fit. He wanted, I don't even remember what it was he wanted, and I'm like, it's not happening. You know, I think he like wanted to go to Target and buy some stupid 50-cent toy, and I'm like, it's not happening. I want it, yeah. And he's in the backseat of the car, so he starts kicking the. I'm like, okay, Dylan, what's gonna happen? Let's play this out. Let's follow this through. This is the road you're on. Let's see where this leads. Do you think that's going to get me to go to Target? He's like, no. I go, do you think I'm gonna get upset? He's like, yeah, but I'm like, okay, you keep that up, and we're gonna go straight home, and you're gonna go in your room. And he's like, well, then I'm gonna slam the door. And you do that, and is that going to get me more likely to take you to Target or less likely to take you to Target? You know, and I just kept saying, I'm like, this is not going, that's going to get you put to bed at 4 p.m., you know, like this is not helping. I go, what if when I said we couldn't go today, instead of whining and kicking the back of the chair, you said, Mom, can we please go to Target tomorrow? I will use my own money to buy blah, blah, blah. I go, what do you think I would say to that? He's like, you already said no. I'm like, but did you ask me that way? Or did you whine and kick the back of the chair and tell me because 10 of your friends had it, you needed it too? You know, or the big one in co-parenting is, but Dad said. So, you know, parenting, you need to be a united front, and it is super hard to be a united front when you are in two different houses. So there's a lot of, you know, well, Dad said, and I'm sure he gets Mom said, and we try to come together and have the same values, but kids are smart and crafty.
Yes, they are. Boy, they are. They can manipulate
They make it hard. But we play it all the way out, and eventually I'm like, Dylan, you know, if you ask me nicely if we could go tomorrow after school, I'm like, I would be so appreciative of you asking in a respectful, polite way, of recognizing that it does cost money and you want to use your own money to do this. I would say yes, and then to show you that I'm true to my word, we would guarantee we would be going the next day. Like, you throw this hissy fit, I don't know if I'm ever taking you to Target again. You know, like, so you kind of hear the wheels. Because we're driving, and the wheel is in the back of the car, and all of a sudden he's like, Mama? Yes, Dylan. It's like, can we go to Target tomorrow after school? And he's like talking kind of down and low, but he gets it a lot. I'm like, Dylan, that is a great idea. I'm like, we can go tomorrow after school. And then it became a positive. So we started thinking all day, like, okay, you ready? I'm going to pick you up at this time. And what's the first thing we're going to do? And, you know, can we get this one? And he's looking online to see which one he wants and making sure he has the right money. And we turned the whole thing around. But there's very little difference between that and Andrew when he was in high school going, okay, you break into the neighborhood swimming pool and the police bring you home and let's play this out and you have to go to court. Like, you just play it out. Or we could find a friend who has a pool, a private pool in a backyard, and we can get permission to go swimming after hours. Like, it's the same lesson.
It's the same lesson.
Different scenarios.
Absolutely.
But I'm a big one in pushing them all the way. Let's walk this thing all the way through.
That's good. You know, if the real estate gig doesn't work out for you, you can always go the psychologist route.
Lord knows I've been to enough of them.
That's funny.
We all need help.
Oh my gosh.
We all need
life
help.
Coach.
A life coach. Do you have a life coach? We're just about done.
Not really.
No,
I
have
mean,
you ever
we get
hired
this,
That's your life coach?
I have mentors. Those are my coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, they get a call every day. So yeah, poor them.
You do call them every day?
Oh yeah, just about every day.
Really?
Yep, absolutely.
That is awesome.
Because there's something always happens to them, like, it's either my dad or my mom or a mentor. Yeah, absolutely. Between those 3 or 4,
That's how you.
yeah, that's how I get through.
That's amazing. So my latest thing has been calling people and asking what would a grown-up do in this scenario. Like,
That's
because
really good.
lots of times we have our own way of dealing with things, and it's not always. Sometimes it's reactionary instead of.
That's right. Our
response.
way isn't always the right way, even though we would like to think it is.
So lately, when I'm at a loss, and usually they're interpersonal, I've got my business down like that. There's no emotion left in it. There's no I need guidance on how to build it better, like structure-wise and all that. But as far as my day-to-day business, I've eliminated a lot of the fear, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm confident, and I don't take it personally. But interpersonal relationships, I feel like, especially since the divorce, I just feel like a new kid that doesn't know, and I'm constantly asking people, how would a grown-up handle this? Because I really just want to never talk to them again, and I know that that's not the right answer. And so, how would a grown-up handle this? That's my latest question to people.
That's a good question to ask.
It is. Well, because I'm sure you can't be as perfect as you appear.
Oh,
right?
for heaven's sakes, far from it. Look at this.
No, John's
Far from
so
perfect.
funny. You have no idea.
Oh, please.
So anyone, I see you have a lot of neighborhood people who popped on here. You have.
I can't even read it.
You can't see close?
No.
I can still see close. I can't see far. I have no idea what's going on.
I have context for that. That's how I have
when
to
did you lose the close?
About 4 years ago.
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 53.
53, so 49 you lost it.
Yeah.
I'm 44. 42, sorry, I was holding for a few years. 42 and holding. Although Dylan had it right on the Mother's Day thing, and I'm like, how did you know? Because I've been lying to you since the day you were born. And he's like, Papa told me. I'm like,
he's so cute.
You can't be mad. It's the truth, right? But I'm just starting to. So I used to be able to wear my glasses and still read close. Like I could push through because I can't see anything far away. And I could push through and read close, but now I have to lift them to read close.
There you go.
Is that like the first sign?
Yep.
And then
it's going. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna go kicking and screaming.
The
but it's
first
gonna happen.
sign, I looked at my phone and I had to put my glasses up. And I'm like, no. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap it up because now we're talking about how old I am, and I don't like that anymore. So this is A Touch of Wonder. This is John Ferguson. He can be found in Lansdowne and Rivercrest Street corners. Any street corner.
Beeping the horn and all the
passers-by.
by.
Oh, he does. He will beep the horn at you like you think you have left a coffee cup hanging on your roof or something. He is like, I'm here. He is the most energetic, amazing person in my life. Made a huge difference in my business, and he didn't even know it. And I'm so glad you could have coffee with me.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it very much.
All right, and we will announce your winner next week. And I like this new idea of hooking you up with the winner because I think that's kind of cool. So we'll see if we can make that work. Not that he had a choice. I just sort of did that right.
The book is awesome.
Who's the author again?
The book is awesome. Arthur Gordon.
Arthur Gordon.
If you Google him, there's a few Arthur Gordons, so make sure you get the right one. But
because the other one writes porn or something.
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't know, maybe he did, but this guy's a good egg.
There you go. So A Touch of Wonder by Arthur Gordon, recommended by John Ferguson, fellow Hokie.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed.
Have a great day, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.